Anywhere?
In bed, yeah. There's a code that says you can have up to 4 per 6,000 square feet of land.
Oh, really?
Now I have the room. I can move.
There you go. Get yourself a nice beehive, get yourself some chickens, and when the federal government collapses and we go back to a police state, you can grow your own food. There you go. I'm talking about. You use chicken poop to fertilize your garden. It's one of the finest forms of fertilizer you can have. My girls are full of it, literally and figuratively. All right. So here, I've completed the tree diagram, but I haven't completed all the individual .1s and .9s, because I think you guys understand it's going to stay .1 and .9. So let's just go to 3 girls and then 4, or 3 birds, then 4 birds, and we'll see how this ties back to the four coin example. So, if Max buys 3 birds, what's the chance they're all going to be roosters now?
Slim.
Forget the 4th bird. Understand it further. So what's the chance they're all boys now? 0.1%. Very well said. Yes. 1 in 1,000. Yeah? Because it was 1% with 2 birds. If you buy another bird, you then have to get unlucky again with 10% likelihood. So you'd have to have 10% of 10% of 10%, which is 1 in 1,000. So if you buy 3 birds and they're all roosters, something's up. Either you're that very unlucky 1 in 1,000, which is harder to believe with every passing bird you buy, or the sexing that they're telling you is happening is not actually happening. Because what would it be if it was a coin flip sexing operation? Or the guy in the, or the guy in the thing was flipping a quarter, heads, that's a girl, heads, that's a girl, tails, that's a boy. It's a 50% of 50% of 50%. That's going to happen 12.5% of the time. That's not rare at all. 12.5% is actually very common. But you see how uncommon it is with the correct sexing done. Good. What's the chance of all girls?
72%.
Nice! 90% of 90% of 90% is about 73%. Yeah, 72.9%. 73%. That's still the most likely outcome. That's still the most likely outcome. I'm going to leave it at that for now because we actually analyzed this quite a bit in 243, and I want to go straight to 4 birds because that's what most people buy according to the guys at the store. Now, I did not know this .9 walking into the store 2 times ago when we got our first round of birds. I didn't know that. I asked him, I was like, how do you know these are girls? And he's like, oh, we sex them. And that's when I started asking, like, how do you sex them? With the skirt? Blah, 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 blah. And he said, no, there's this process via which, and it was explained to me, and some of it sounds kind of gross. But, and I said, well, how correct is it? And that's where I got the 90%. He said there's a 90% chance of it working as far as identifying the correct gender. And I said, well, that means there's a 1 in 3 chance there's a rooster in the box of 4 birds. And that's when he went, what? Well, think about why. What's the chance of getting all 4 girls? 90% of 90% of 90% of 90%. Now, I could not do that in my head in the store. But what I did do in my head in the store was this. 0.9 times 0.9 is 0.81. I dropped the 1 and called it 0.8. So I called this 0.8 and I called this 0.8. 0.8 times 0.8 is 0.64. 64% is just about 2/3. 2/3 is 66%. So if there's a 2/3 chance that you got all girls, there's a 1/3 chance you're somewhere up here. And what's the one unifying thing about all 15 of these branches that this branch doesn't have? A boy somewhere in it, right? This branch has no boys. Every one of these branches has at least 1 boy in it. So it's 2/3 chance you got all girls. There's a 1/3 chance you got a boy in there somewhere. Now the chance of having all 4 boys is essentially 0. It's 1 in 10,000. It's tiny, tiny. But the chance of 2 and 2, I'll just give you a spoiler, it's about 5%. 2 and 2 is about 5%. That's starting to get likely again. The chance of getting 3 and 1, 3 girls and a boy, is actually pretty high. It's around 30%. So anybody that complains they bought 4 girls and got a rooster, oh, I'm taking these back. Go ahead, you probably were guaranteed to have it. That's why I'm like, shit, I bought 4 the first time they were all girls, I bought 4 again. I'm getting close to that 2/3. Right? I'm starting to roll with that. Come on, 7! You know, that's what buying the girls is like. It's like rolling dice or flipping coins. It's just the coins aren't 50-50, they're 90-10. And that's what everything in life is. When you cross in a crosswalk in the state of Oregon, there are two outcomes. You're going to get hit or you're not. Thank God it's not a coin flip. Right? Thank God it's not a coin flip. It's probably 1 in a million that you're going to get hit, or on COCC campus, 1 in 5. Right? But it's not a coin flip. It's not 1 in 1 or 1 in 2. It's not 1 in 2. It's not equally likely. Buying a chicken is a coin flip. It's just 90-10 according to the guy at the feed store. That makes sense? And a lot of things can be broken down binomially like this. A lot of things can be broken down binomially, just like this. So finally, let's change the experiment up again. We did like experiment 4 and 4A with chickens, which I think was kind of fun. More on that in, do you know what the average number of girls that you get per 4 is? This is a bit of a tricky question, but you could apply it the same way you did that one.
3.
Anybody? Say that again?
3.
A little more than 3. Good. Remember what we said over here? With each time you flip, you add how much of a head? Half. So with each bird you buy, you add 0.9 of a girl, right?
Oh.
Each bird, on average, is 0.9 girl, 0.1 boy. On average. On average, right? On average. So with every girl, you add 0.9. So 1 girl, you get 0.9 girls on average, or 1 bird, you get 0.9 girls on average. 2 birds, 1.8 girls on average. 3, 2.7. 4, 3.6. 3.6 girls and 0.4 boys on average. Eventually, it's going to get so high that you start averaging a boy with almost certainty, right? Like when you buy 10, that means you average 9 girls and a boy. So I had a student in 242 this term. This is crap. I got 30 birds and 3 of them were boys. I'm like, congratulations, you're average.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you were supposed to get. You were supposed to get 27 girls and 3 boys. That's exactly 90%, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Like, yeah. And if you got 30 birds, I'm guessing you have the room for a rooster. Or 3. But I don't think you can have 3 roosters. I think they'll probably kill each other.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Make some rooster
Usually
soup.
have 2.
You can have 2, that's okay?
Usually, because they end up doing like a pecking order.
The
But
roosters do 2.
With 2, but with 3, it kind of screws up.
They'll
the
gang up on
dynamic.
the 1.
Yeah.
That's why we had to take it. We now have Fern 2 and May 2. We started with Fern, May, Gertie, and Agnes. But Fern and May had to go back because Fern was beating the piss out of everybody. Like, she's pecking at the eyes of the other ones. I'm like, you are a bitch and you need to go away. And May just laid on the ground. And I'm like, what's wrong with this one? Why did we bring this one home? And Jen's like, well, it was easy for Max to catch. I'm like, yes, because he's still laying there on the ground. So Agnes and Fern and May had to go back. And we got Fern 2 and Agnes, or May, whatever the hell I just said. Those 2 had to get replacements. And now they're all getting along. They're all kind of cooing together. Every once in a while they peck them on the butt, but whatever. That's just the pecking order exactly establishing itself. All right. Stuff you learn in math class.